Good start, good start.
I did mine wrong. It's supposed to be in the front, I guess. But whatever.
All right, everybody. So we should be finishing up our bell work. Thank you all for changing your name in the participants tab. I see a few people that have Ps that are not present in person. So that makes me think as an instructor, how are my directions not clear? But I made the breakout rooms during that bell work time. And I tried to make sure that in every single group is one of the lovely people that is sitting in front of me right now. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the bell work in a moment. I also want to point out that where you see the faces in whichever corner of your computer screen, there are 3 options for how to view the faces. And I would recommend clicking this little block right here because it's the speaker view. So you won't have a bunch of faces to look at that will block the slides. I would change it to speaker view, that thick block. Okay, everybody. So let's go ahead and jump in. First, I encourage you to take notes. Everyone in front of me has guided notes. That's, I think, a perk of being in person, and I'm a big guided notes fan. But everybody else, I'm dropping a link to notes in the chat for you. So it's in the chat right now, notes for you all, if you would like to take them digitally. If you are a paper pencil person, I am a paper pencil person when I'm learning, so you can also just grab a pen and paper as well. I just want to point out to everybody what entering the class looked like. First, let's give a warm virtual wave to all the people in the room. All these people were willing to be in person with me. And special shout out to Mr. Fox back there who made sure all the seats were 6 feet apart. Everyone in the room is wearing masks. And I also had a seating chart available right when they walked in. So it looked like this, printed just like Ms. Vaughn was talking about. So they knew exactly where to go. And then they also picked up name tents. We're going to pretend that they made these name tents on the first day of school, because I always do that on the first day of school, but I made them for them. So you can see their name tent here, because I don't know about you all, but I really like knowing kids' faces. And I challenge myself to know all my students' names by the 3rd day of school. I placed the guided notes on the desk for them. That's different from being in person, because normally kids would just like pick one up off of a pile, but I don't want all kids touching a pile of papers. So I just quickly ran around the room and put these on their desks. And I am using a projector. So you can see up here, everyone that's in the room right now can see the Zoom on the projector, which might be slightly advantageous for when they're doing something in another tab. They can just be looking up at the projector. So that's just a little info about the entering the class procedure. A few quick disclaimers about this lesson. Everybody, please, this is just one sample lesson in one subject. I will not do everything. I won't use every tool. So for example, I'm not going to use the whiteboard or annotations, which I know a lot of math teachers would want to see. Also, I'm dropping links in chat, but really if this were my actual classroom, I would be using Google Classroom. Just another iteration that there is no right way to do this. Everyone needs to do what makes sense. If you're like, name tense, no way. Don't do name tense. If you think it's crazy that I'm sitting at the front looking at everybody and you would rather sit in the back and sit at your desk, great, do that. If you want to build like a bubble shield, something, great, do that. So there's no right way, just do what you're comfortable with. And finally, Pear Deck is very popular. I see it in 90% of observations that I do, but I am using the polling feature of Zoom today instead of Pear Deck for formative assessments, because I think you all have seen Pear Deck a few times and maybe haven't seen the polling feature as much, and you all are going to have access to this feature very soon. So I am very excited to get started with content. Today's lesson is about nudibranchs. Nudibranchs. It looks like nudibranch. It's actually nudibranch. So a quick bell work review. Let's look at where we're at with our knowledge of nudibranchs. So here we go. I'm gonna pull up the bell work. This could have been a Pear Deck question if we wanted it to be. I have 62 responses. So here's the in-person and virtual breakdown. Look at that. How much do you know about nudibranchs? Not a lot. Which is great, because I wanted to teach you all something that where everyone would be a beginner, so we could really empathize and relate to our students. Okay. So in Zoom, I'm just gonna take one volunteer for the sake of time. If you can, and you want to share, one of the questions I asked you is, what's the weirdest or coolest animal that you've seen? And I'm gonna take one volunteer, but I want to see us use that virtual hand raising option. So if you want to share what you put for the coolest animal, Ian Murphy, you're the first one. Go ahead and unmute, sir, and tell us what's the coolest or weirdest animal and why, in 3 or less sentences, please.
Coolest animal I've ever seen, we were up in Sedona and saw a bobcat just running around in between the plants. So that was pretty cool.
Whoa, that is very cool. Nice. Oh, Sarah, I see you raising your hand. I would love for everybody to share, but for the sake of time, we're gonna keep moving. Oh my goodness, Coach, look at you. Can you all see that? Okay. Lots of hand raising. I love it. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to the bell work. We did a mood meter. I also see tons of teachers doing mood meters, which are so fun. Shout out to Miss P, Miss Petruzziello, for giving me this SpongeBob one. Where did it go?
And go to questions.
Oh, okay. So it's not as fun because I can't see the picture. Okay. Looks like we're pretty even. What was option 5? Juggling everything. Okay, cool. Yep, juggling everything. That makes sense. Let's find that SpongeBob one. Number 5. Oh yeah, hardcore multitasking for sure. Okay, looks like that's where we're at as a group. Love it. And finally, notice I put an SEL check-in question on my bell work. What do you do to fill your cup? So please go ahead, if you would like, type in the chat, what did you put for this question? What do you do to fill your cup? Okay, it's all private. I just changed it, meant to do that. You might notice these little icons in the bottom. That's for me to remind myself to change things about the chat and to do other things that I need to do. Listen to Dave Matthews Band. Yes, Secor. Okay, so clearly I didn't see my little reminder. There we go. We're starting to see him publicly. Golf course? No way, Coach Babiar. I had no idea. All right. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to hear chuckles in the same room. Love it. Okay, let's go ahead and move along today, everybody. So, oh, I missed something, but I'll figure out what it was later. Okay, everybody, so instructionally, it's really important to share with our students what the objectives are for today. So if you're taking notes on paper, you have guided notes here, so you can fill in the blanks here. If you're taking virtual notes, you can type in the notes in another tab, or if you're writing on paper, great. Or if you're not taking notes, that's fine too. Objective number 1, we will understand basic anatomy of nudibranchs. This is now like a 30-minute lesson, so we will not get too in-depth, but I would love for you all to walk away with basic anatomy understanding of nudibranchs. Objective number 2, this is completely separate from content. We will walk away with ideas and questions to think about regarding how hybrid instruction may work in our context. I do not expect you to have answers from this session, but rather like, oh, do I want to use a projector? Oh, what am I comfortable with kids picking up at the door, if anything? And our essential question is my favorite. What is a nudibranch and why are they so cool? Okay, so I have a video to show you all, and it's a 2-minute video and it goes really quick, but it's hilarious. And he will go over some of the basic anatomy for you. I'm giving you a lens to watch a video through because a lens can help us really focus. So I want you to listen for the 2 body types of nudibranchs that the guy mentions, and listen for these vocab terms: serrata, mantle, rhinophores, and plume. So everybody, whether you're in person or at home or in your classroom on mute, repeat after me. If we don't say words out loud, we're not going to know how to say them. So first, everybody say nudibranch.
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 All right, one more time, everybody. Nudibranch.
Nudibranch.
Okay, awesome. And if you say nudibranch, I'll forgive you. Okay, and then let's say some of these tricky ones as well. So serrata.
Serrata.
Be on Instagram.
Awesome. And finally, rhinophore. Rhinophore. Okay. There's a little vocab tip for you all. If a word looks scary and we don't have kids say it, even in the safety of their own room or in the safety of choral response, they're not going to say it ever, especially in small groups. So here is the video. I'm going to quickly mute everybody so we make sure we can hear the video. Okay, here I've just muted everybody. Let's watch this video. Remember, you have guided notes to fill in, or you could just take notes on paper. Again, it's gonna go quick. It's gonna go quick. So here we go. Here's the YouTube.
Many of which is a type of sea slug called a nudibranch. There are around 3,000 freaky species of nudibranchs, but they come in 2 basic body plans. One body plan can be seen in the earlid nudibranchs. They can look a bit like claymation pubic hair, or like a porcupine rolled around in candy corn. Their backs are covered with floppy, spiky things called serrata. These serrata are extensions of their digestive system, because why not? But they also assist in breathing. The other body plan belongs to the dorid nudibranch. It is the more sluggy of the 2. Dorid nudibranchs have a sturdy, fleshy covering called a mantle. The mantle can sometimes look like a frilly skirt, or perhaps a fashionable poncho. Some species, like the Spanish dancer nudibranch, can use this skirt to swim. Sort of. Some other nudibranchs also try the swimmy, but in most cases it looks a bit like a Muppet simultaneously auditioning for the part of the F, U, and N in a Sesame Street production brought to you by the word fun. It does actually look fun to swim like that, like sneezing in outer space. Up front, nudibranchs have 2 rhinophores, which are kind of like nostrils that have been turned inside out. Much like our noses can pick up the chemical signals of a fart wafting in the air, these rhinophores can pick up chemical signals in the water. This is important because their eyes totally suck. They are very tiny and can only sense dark and light. Like a colorblind machinist in a Skittles factory, the nudibranch is unable to appreciate the beauty of its own decoration. This one looks a bit like a land speeder. Whoa! Except near the back where you would expect the peoples to sit. There is a plume of gills that encircle their anus. These gills are beautifully folded structures that maximize surface area to extract oxygen from the surrounding water. These allow the dorid nudibranch to breathe right next to its anus. Before you judge, however, to the nudibranch, this body plan might feel like an upgrade. To understand, the nudibranch's mouth parts are under its front parts, right between the fingered mustachio of 2 feeding tentacles that can help it feel around for food. They eat a variety of animals, many of which, like colonial tunicates, bryozoans, and...
All right, we'll go ahead and stop there. So I forgot that I made the decision to set it to 0.75 speed, which, hey, is a good thing to do for students, especially if videos go really fast. So I'm really excited. I have a group task for you all. I'm going to send you into breakout rooms. Whoa. I'm going to send you into breakout rooms, and you all are going to get your own copy of slides. I made a drag and drop activity. I see lots of teachers using these. So your slide is going to look like this. Let me go ahead and drop it in the chat just so you can all start opening it while I'm giving the instructions. Here we go. So you all are going to open these slides. Everyone will have their own. And there are 2 slides you're going to work on. Each of the 2 slides has 4 terms, and you're going to drag those terms over to the box that where the line is pointing. And then these gray ones over here are the functions. But before that, notice at the top, this body type is called and you might already know the answer, and if not, that's okay. Lean on your group, but make sure you delete whichever one of these it's not. So first, which type is it? Second, drag the terms, drag the definitions to where they go. And then if you have extra time, please search the web for your favorite, or for this body plan, and put a picture of your favorite one there. So really quick, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen so that I can see more of your faces, and hopefully your camera's on. I'm gonna switch to gallery view so I can see as many faces as possible. Give me a thumbs up if you understand the directions, what I'm looking for you to do. Okay, lots of thumbs up, awesome. Okay, great. So in that case, I'm gonna go ahead and open up these breakout rooms. The reason I had you rename yourselves to P and V is because I wanted to try to make sure there was at least one P in-person person in each breakout room. However, we have too many, we have 20 breakout rooms and we have 15 people present. So there are 5 rooms that don't have someone in person. I'm going to be safely circulating. So if you have questions, get the person with the P to just flag me down. I'll also come monitor the chat as I can, okay? So it is 10:06. I'm gonna bring you back at 10:10. It'll be real quick, okay? Ready, go. So if you all could turn off the sound on your computer. Hey, this is good. This is good. We're working out these kinks now, right? All right. Thank you all so much for engaging with me in that drag and drop activity. I'm gonna guess you didn't finish, which is totally fine. You got to experience what it's like to have to make a copy of your own slides and to work with a group where someone's in person, people are not, which is kind of crazy. And obviously dealing with sound and headphones. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over these answers really quickly. So I think this is the hardest word to say of the whole lesson. This first one is an eolid. Okay, everybody, don't unmute yourself. Just wherever you're at, repeat after me. Eolid. Okay, I know it starts with an A, but it's eolid. One more time, eolid. Perfect. All right, so we got the rhinophores. They're basically like inverted nostrils. They pick up chemical signals. They can smell or taste. These finger-like appendages coming out the back, that's the serrata. The serrata is how they breathe. So obviously, like, they can't breathe from their mouth. They have to get oxygen from the water. And so the serrata maximizes surface area, and that's how they breathe. And then also, it's an extension of their digestive system. I can't even imagine, like, my stomach coming out with extra appendages. In the front here are the feeding tentacles. They kind of feel around for food. And then this muscle on the bottom here is its foot. So that's what usually, that's how they move around, and it secretes slime. Also, OMG, can we just look at this picture in the bottom right? Move faces if you need to, because wow, look at this eolid nudibranch. This right here is a dorid nudibranch. Dorids have a plume that they use for breathing. So wherever you're at, do you remember what it's called, what the eolid uses for breathing? Yeah, serrata, that's right. So the elid uses serrata and the dorid uses a gill plume. So it's just a localized spot. It is funny that it's used for breathing and yet it surrounds the nudibrank's anus. So it extracts oxygen from the water. And then just like the elids, it has rhinophores that pick up the chemical signals. Now I'm getting the giggles, finally. Just like elids, dorids have a foot. Obviously, they need to be able to move. They are sea slugs, and they secrete slime. And then these ones have a thick, sturdy, fleshy covering called the mantle. Okay, and just look at this nudibranch. Have you ever seen an invertebrate so gorgeous? The answer is no. And they're not shown here, but dorids do also have oral tentacles. So both elids and dorids need those feeding tentacles to find food. We're gonna skip this for the sake of time. Also, we're gonna skip this. Hopefully you have no questions and you have completely mastered nudibranchs so far. So really quick, this is just a way for me to check in, chat to just me. I'm gonna change the chat right now to host only. What is one difference between elids and dorids? What is one main difference between elids and dorids? Use at least 2 new vocab terms in your response, please. Oh, Colton Boothman, you have the best answer so far. Great job using both terms and telling me what they are and which one they go with. Ooh, Arjun, yours is great too. Excellent. Awesome. Mr. Giovanelli, how they breathe. Yes, Tara. Dorids have a plume where they breathe near their booty. Yes, Jamie. These are great. Okay, so as a teacher, I would kind of have my eye out for maybe like the bottom 5 students that I know tend to like struggle, and I would be looking for those. Your high kids are gonna be fine. You see those, great, but I'm like in my head thinking, well, not here. If I had students, I'd be thinking of specific kids, like, is their chat coming through? Because if they got it, the rest of the class probably got it. Fabulous, great job, everybody. Okay. So overall, what is a nudibranch? Well, nudibranch means naked gill, and they are sea slugs. So they are in the phylum Mollusca. They're a mollusk, and in the class Gastropoda. Gastra means stomach, pod means foot, so stomach foot. There you go. There are over 3,000 species of nudibranchs, and they're finding new ones every day. They don't have a super long lifespan, about a few weeks up to a year, and they are so cute, cutest carnivores ever. Some defense mechanisms, and just a quick reminder, you have your notes that you can be writing in or jotting things down. We're going to do a game in a second, so you're going to want to know some of these things. The defense mechanisms, they are brightly colored, which in the animal kingdom usually means, warning, we are poisonous. So fish don't eat nudibranchs because they see them and know that they're toxic in most cases. They use camouflage, which by the way is a very hard word to spell. And though they live in brightly colored environments like a coral reef, they can hide pretty well because of their color. And nudibranchs do eat each other. And what's crazy is they derive their color from the food that they eat, which I'm glad I don't turn the colors of the food that I eat. And everybody, for this last one, this is my favorite defense mechanism of theirs. I'm gonna have you repeat after me. So don't come off mute or anything, but repeat after me. Nematocysts. One more time, nematocysts. All right, these are stinging cells. People in the room and people, I can only see 6 at a time, but people virtually, raise your hand if you've ever been stung by a jellyfish. Oh, several. Okay, I got 3 people in here. I have never, but I really don't want to. So eolids eat animals. They eat cnidaria, like jellyfish, corals, anemones, things that store stinging cells. And then what's crazy about nudibranchs is they can store them for later. So it's like, here, give me that. I want that stinging cell, but I don't want it right now. I'm going to use it later. So eolids store them in their serrata and can fire them when they want to, which I just think makes them the coolest animal ever. So let me introduce you to the Zoom polling feature. Maybe you've done this before, maybe you haven't. I'm going to go ahead and launch this poll. It should just show up on your Zoom screen. Which of the following is not true about the coloring of nudibranchs? Which of the following is not true? I see Oh, I can't even count. 63 responses so far. Oh, it says at the top. Duh. 73 out of 111 people have responded. Okay. Here we go. 92 of 111. I'm going to end it there. So let's go ahead and end poll and check this out. I can share my results with you. So you should all see on your screen how we did. So everybody, A, B, C, or D, what was the correct answer? C. And we got 78% mastery on that, which tells me, hey, we can move on. But I should probably mention a couple times their diet does impact their calorie. So that was the most common missed answer. Fabulous. Okay. And questions. Will you show us how to make a poll and document it from the teacher side? Absolutely. How did you make the poll? Great questions. I will address those later, but that's good to know. I'm going to save the chat and answer these questions. Will there be a test? Yes. And you can't teach at Agua Fria if you don't pass. And it's only on nudibranchs. Okay, guys, this is my favorite slide. This is one specific type of nudibranch. This is called the Glaucus atlanticus. It is as cool as it sounds. It is known as the blue dragon of the sea, and it is an eolid, because remember, eolids have, what's that called on the back? Wow, this is hard. I think I just pulled a muscle. I'm not even kidding. Okay, eolids have serrata on their back, but notice that the Glaucus atlanticus have their serrata coming out laterally. Again, they're the blue dragon of the sea. They can float upside down, which is awesome. And then they can use surface tension to position themselves exactly where they want to be in the water. So look at this picture down here. This is a Glaucus atlanticus upside down attacking a Portuguese man-o-war, which is extremely painful if you to be stung by one. And they can attack a Portuguese man-o-war, which is much larger than them, and hijack their stinging cells. What are they called? Nematocysts. Excellent. You might be wondering if I'm faking my enthusiasm for nudibranchs, but look at this. This is a selfie on Luke's birthday. Look, this is in Silas's bathroom. I painted a picture of a Glaucus atlanticus and put it in Silas's bathroom. Okay? I really, I'm not lying. I think they're so cool. Okay, so everybody, to review, before we do our exit ticket, we are going to do a GIM kit, and I'm going to be honest with you all, this is my first time doing a GIM kit, so I hope it goes well. GIM kit is, really quick, people in the room, who has used GIM kit before? Okay, great, lots of people have. So it's similar to Kahoot. You can play with teams or you can play individually. We are going to play individually today. Everyone's going to be working on different questions, which I like about GIM kit compared to Kahoot. So kids can't just put what the person next to them puts. The more questions right you get, the more money you get. If you get a question wrong, you lose money. So you'll start with a $1 question, a $2 question, a $3 question, and the first person that gets to $10 wins the game. But again, if you miss the $3 question, you lose $3. So you want to be quick, but more importantly, you want to be accurate, which I love. And as soon as you enter your name in a second, when I give you the code, there's going to be lots of options that show up. It's not as like, great, you're ready to play, like Kahoot is. So just ignore that. And then there are features with GIM kit where you can shop and like invest your money, which sounds insanely cool, but we're not going to do that today. This is going to be like a 5-minute game. So let me get this started for us. So go ahead and right now decide if you're playing on your phone or another tab. Okay, you can get out of full screen. There we go. So open a new tab or go to your phone. Here we go. GIM kit. How do I go back to the main screen? Finish kit. Thank you. Okay, and we're gonna play. So assign homework, that's cool, but instead we're gonna play it live. So everybody go to gimkit.com/play, gimkit.com/play. We're gonna do classic. We're just gonna do time actually. Earn as much money as you can before the time runs out. We're gonna play for 4 minutes. Nope, we're gonna play for 3 minutes. Sorry, everybody. Okay. Cool. And continue. So no sweat if you don't answer all the questions, but just try to get them right. Here we go. gimkit.com/play. And the code is 64123. Wow, they knew we would have a lot of teachers doing this game. Made the code nice and easy for us. Got 2 people. Oh, so fast. Okay, I have to just tell you really quick. I had my cousin and my sister go through this lesson with me last night, and my cousin typed in fart, and it bleeped it out. It put 4 asterisks instead of fart. Like, GimKit knows when kids trying to be. Oh, someone tried something. I don't know how to do that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start. If you haven't joined yet, you still can. Olsen's on top. Espy and Bill Babiar in second. Oh! Look how much money we're earning as a class. All that knowledge. Rachel Gross, you go, girl. Lyman, highest climber. Oh, Fox, you're in first. Let's go, Gianna. Let's go, Elijah. Wow, we've made so much money. 10 seconds, 10 seconds. Okay, wait, can we just look at Hey, no respiratory droplets, all right? Right into your mask, all right? All right, I hope everybody had fun and that you got to test your knowledge of nudibranchs. And that's a fun game, and it's cool to see the collective money, because right, what we want is all students to learn. And I imagine like if we made the game longer and kids are in teams and they can like use the money in different ways, I like the strategy sound of that. Okay, so I knew that time would be hard for me, so I actually made 2 different closure slides. The first one is inspired by our evaluation as a school from a few years ago. The area of growth that we most had was rigor. And I think rigor is something that we all need to be thinking about every day. Like, kids don't like to answer the question, what is a rhinophore? That's boring. You can Google that. Like, we should be pushing our kids to answer the highest level questions possible. So I was going to, if I had time, which I knew I wouldn't, have you all create test-like questions as closure and then answer each other's in the chat. But again, I knew we wouldn't have time. So instead, before I give you the link to our exit ticket, I would like you to share in the chat what's the most interesting thing you learned today. GimKit. And it could be content related or process related. Yes. There are little sea slug carnivores that look like bunny rabbits. They're so cute. It looks like a baby unicorn. Name that movie. Frozen. Olaf says it about his carrot nose. Okay, this is so awesome. So what I'm going to do is tell you about the exit ticket. So the exit ticket has 2 parts. The first part is content, and for people that are competitive, you will get a score. So you'll see how you did. Obviously, I don't care how you did. Actually, it goes in the grade book. But just for you, like, I want to see, was I able to teach you a thing or 2 about nudibranchs? And they're hard. Again, rigor is important. They're not all easy questions. And then the second part of the exit ticket is the process. So there's 4 questions, and it's really important that you answer those questions thoughtfully, because you're actually going to use this. This is sort of your entry task for the next 45 minutes, minutes, which is the reflection piece. So it's about how did this hybrid lesson go? Was it really hard to take notes digitally? I personally think it is. Did you look at the projector a lot and that was helpful? And maybe you want to use a projector in your classroom. Do you hate the thought of facing your class? Like maybe just share what things came to mind about the process of this hybrid lesson, no matter which way you engaged. Right now, go ahead and turn your camera off. Here is the exit ticket, 5 minutes. Take this seriously. Please take 5 minutes, and then at 10:35, you'll join your administrator. Thank you all so much. This was a really fun opportunity, kind of crazy. You all are awesome. Sorry to interrupt. I forgot, made myself a little note. Thank goodness I did. I'm gonna turn the chat to host only. A lot of you teachers do this during exit tickets and assessments, so kids can't message each other. That's super smart. So go ahead and just message me privately when you're done.
Like I have, like the spray bottle and the paper towel. Like, do students put all their stuff away and like stay at the table?
That's a good question.
Like I just would love to see that if possible.
I don't know. Ernie, do you know what the cleanup like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Olivia, how long did it take you to set up the system?
That was all Ken.
It took me about an hour. But I brought my tape measure.
No, I mean, like, obviously the desk will be where they're supposed to be.
Mm.
To go around.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, the guided notes, since it was the same per kid, per person, was like 2 minutes to run around. And then that's why I like the name tents at the door. And like that table's nice because they can be all spread out. I wouldn't feel comfortable with the name tents like all in a pile, but just like spread out for people to grab them. For attendance, like I would take attendance just by whatever name tents are left back there. And then I would write on my seating chart, like AD, just so that physical seating chart, So all together, okay, set out the guided note, set out the name tents for this group, for this period. 5 minutes?